The general's silent honor. Scene 1. The border stop. The hum of the border checkpoint typically buzzed with the mundane, a symphony of impatience and the rustle of travel documents. But today, a different note was struck, a jarring discord that rippled through the sterile air. Elena Corbin, 45, stood with an almost unsettling stillness in the queue. Her tailored linen trousers and silk blouse, though casually elegant, seemed out of place amidst the throng of tourists in their worn jeans and brightly colored backpacks. Her raven black hair, pulled back in a simple, low knot, framed a face that held the quiet dignity of a seasoned warrior, her ice blue eyes observing the checkpoint with a detached, clinical gaze. When it was her turn, she offered a polite, almost imperceptible nod that was not acknowledged. Officer Dan Mercer barely glanced up from his station as her documents slid across the counter. "Purpose of your visit?" "Returning home," the woman answered. Her voice carried a quiet precision that made Mercer finally look up. He flipped through the worn passport, his thick fingers pausing at the stamps. "Kosovo, Syria, Afghanistan." His brow furrowed. Quite the tourist. The woman, Elena Corbin, according to the passport, didn't rise to the bait. "I served." Mercer exchanged a glance with his partner, Officer Luis Rivera, who leaned in to examine the documents. "Served where, exactly?" "This ID expired 8 years ago." Elena's hands remained flat on the counter. "Some places don't issue renewal stations." Rivera smirked. "Yeah? And what rank were you, specialist?" "Sergeant." "Brigadier General." The booth went silent. Mercer's laugh came too loud, too sharp. "Right. And I'm the Secretary of Defense." He held up the faded military ID. "You expect us to believe this?" Elena's ice blue eyes didn't waver. "I expect you to do your job." The lack of digital footprint quickly escalated. Officer Dan Mercer motioned Elena to an open inspection area directly beneath the harsh fluorescent lights, in full view of the growing crowd. "We'll need to go through your bags, ma'am. Stand over here." His tone was laced with an almost challenging derision. Elena remained poised, her shoulders unslumped, her gaze unwavering as her elegant leather duffel and a small carry-on were splayed open. The officers rummaged through her meticulously packed belongings, a worn copy of ancient philosophy, a slim, unbranded tablet, a few changes of understated clothing. They made snide remarks, laughing at the austerity of her possessions, mocking her outdated travel gear, unfolding her spare clothes, examining her dog tags with exaggerated scrutiny. "Oh, look at this," the younger one said, holding them up. "You really think we're gonna buy this? Anyone can buy these online." Elena's jaw tightened imperceptibly, but her voice remained even. "Those were issued to me." "You can verify them." "Yeah, sure," the first officer sneered. "And I'm the president. Stand over there while we finish up." She stood motionless as they continued, their laughter carrying. A teenage boy nearby whispered to his mother, "Is she really a general?" His mother shushed him, but the damage was done. Elena could feel the eyes on her, the silent judgment. A murmur rippled through the onlookers, and several phones were discreetly, then not so discreetly, raised to record the public humiliation. Elena's face remained a mask of calm, her gaze fixed on a distant point, never betraying a flicker of emotion, never letting them claim even an inch of her dignity. The younger officer held up a silk scarf, dangling it like a trophy. "Fancy, for someone who doesn't exist," he sneered, drawing snickers from a few onlookers. Alexa O'Reilly, her emerald green eyes sharp beneath the brim of her security cap, had been watching from her new post for 10 excruciating minutes. She'd been transferred here just that morning, a step up from mall security after years of night classes and extra certifications. Something about the woman being mocked set her teeth on edge. It wasn't just the way she held herself, back straight, shoulders squared, but the quiet intensity in her gaze. That's not a civilian, Alexa realized. That's someone who's been drilled to stand at attention for hours. Every instinct screamed that this was wrong. The woman's posture, shoulders back, weight balanced evenly, wasn't just military. It was command. When Mercer grabbed the woman's arm, Alexa moved. Alexa's blood stirred. This wasn't a search, it was a performance. "Sergeant," she called out, her voice cutting through the manufactured mirth. "Sir." She stepped between them, her voice firm. "We have a private screening room for this." Mercer's face darkened. "Back off, O'Reilly. First day and you think you know procedures? Nothing for you to worry about, newbie. Just some fraud trying to pass herself off as military." Alexa's gaze flicked to Elena, who gave the bearish shake of her head, "Don't bother." But Alexa had spent too many years being dismissed herself to let this slide. "Then you won't mind if we handle this professionally," she said coolly. "Ma'am, come with me. We'll finish this in a private room." The officers scoffed, but Alexa held her ground. "I know public humiliation when I see it. And I know that's going viral right now." She nodded to the crowd of recording phones. For a tense moment, no one moved. Then Elena spoke softly, "The guard's right. Unless you want this on the evening news." Rivera scowled but jerked his head toward the back. "Fine. But this isn't over." As they walked, Elena's shoulder brushed Alexa's. "Thank you," she murmured, so quiet Alexa almost missed it. Alexa swallowed hard. "No one deserves that." Elena's smile didn't reach her eyes. "You'd be surprised." Scene 2. The truth unfolds. The interrogation room's fluorescent lights buzzed like angry insects. Elena sat perfectly still as Mercer slammed a file on the table. "Last chance. Who are you really?" Across the room, Alexa shifted uncomfortably. She'd been ordered to observe, but every fiber of her being wanted to stop this. Elena studied her nails. "Call the Pentagon. Ask for General Holloway." Mercer laughed. "Oh, we're doing the I know important people routine now?" Outside, Alexa stiffens at the raised voices. Something's wrong. She barges in. Just as command finally calls back. They run her number again. This time, there's a match. A match that triggers a red level override. Everyone freezes. "Gentlemen, my office." "Now." When they returned minutes later, Grayson's hands shook. Mercer looked ill. Grayson cleared his throat. "General Corbin, on behalf of this facility, I dash." Elena stood in one smooth motion. "Save it." She gathered her things with deliberate calm, pausing only to meet Alexa's eyes. "You have potential, officer." "O'Reilly." "Alexa O'Reilly." A ghost of a real smile touched Elena's lips. "Officer O'Reilly." Remember this moment. Then she was gone, leaving behind a room full of shattered careers. Scene 3. The fallout. Elena is no longer in the interrogation room. She's already gone, escorted personally by military command. Within hours, the officers were stripped of their badges, placed on unpaid suspension pending investigation. News outlets picked up the story, but the details were vague. Border agents humiliate decorated veteran with no mention of Elena's true service. Alexa, however, was called into the chief's office. Alexa is called in. She braces for backlash. But instead, "O'Reilly, you did the right thing. You're being promoted. Full security clearance. Border Security Tactical Unit." She blinks. For what? For not being an idiot. And then, a handwritten envelope arrived, an invitation to a ceremony at Arlington. Integrity can't be taught. EC. The news reports were carefully worded, disciplinary action following protocol violations, but the rumors flew. That night, Alexa stared at her reflection, remembering the steel in Elena's gaze. Her phone buzzed with an unknown number. "Ceremony at Arlington. 1,400 tomorrow. Wear your best." EC. Scene 4. The General's Silent Honor, a love forged in fire. Alexa's breath hitched. In her crisp dress uniform, Elena was a vision of power and grace. Her raven black hair was immaculately swept into a severe chignon, her makeup sparse, accentuating the piercing ice blue of her eyes. Her tall figure was ramrod straight, and epaulets gleamed. But it was the medals that truly rendered Alexa speechless. A cascade of polished metal ribbons on her chest, some instantly recognizable for their valor, some so secret their names were never recorded, hinting at the depths of classified operations. Battles fought in the shadows, victories whispered only in secure rooms. These were decorations some soldiers only dreamed of, and some no one outside of the secret operation even knew existed. The president spoke, for 15 years of covert service, for the lives saved and the sacrifices made in shadows. We honor you. A hush falls. A 21-gun salute. A folded flag handed to her for the 20 who didn't make it home. We operated without names, without ranks, but we came back Americans. Elena doesn't cry, but Alexa does. Elena accepted the honor bestowed upon her and her fallen team with quiet dignity, her voice calm and clear as she spoke of sacrifice and duty. The general who didn't exist in any database now stood unveiled, her quiet strength a testament to the fact that true valor often walked among us unnoticed until the moment it was truly needed. Alexa sips from a glass, unsure if she should approach. Elena finds her. You recognized what they didn't. That takes training or experience. Alexa straightens. I just saw someone who didn't flinch when disrespected. That's usually a soldier or a queen. Elena smirks. First real smile. Maybe both. They talk about nothing. About everything. The weight of war. The strange burden of surviving. I owe you, Elena says. No, you don't, Alexa replies. But I'd like to know you. Their eyes meet. A nod exchanged. Two warriors in very different battles. Finally seen. Elena's gaze drifted to the newest memorial stone. Now you do. She reached into her pocket, producing the silver ring Alexa had seen at the border. My team's tradition. One carries it home. She pressed it into Alexa's palm. Keep it. Remind yourself that not all battles are fought where people can see. As Elena walked away, the ring warm in her hand, Alexa finally understood the weight of true service. Scene 5, the invitation. Alexa turned the silver ring over in her palm, its weight heavier than it should be. The engraved initials, JM, caught the afternoon light. She hadn't stopped thinking about Elena since the ceremony, the way the general's eyes had lingered on her just a heartbeat too long. Her phone buzzed. Dinner. 1900, the Oak Room. Wear the ring. EC. Alexa's pulse jumped. She traced the message with her thumb, hesitating before typing. Is this a thank you or an order, General? The reply came instantly. It's a request. From Elena. The Oak Room was all dark wood and hushed conversations, the kind of place where secrets stayed buried. Elena sat at a corner table, out of uniform for the first time since they'd met, black slacks, a navy blazer, her raven hair loose around her shoulders. Alexa hesitated in the doorway. You look different. Elena's lips quirked. That's the idea. She nodded to the ring on Alexa's finger. You kept it. You gave it to me. Alexa sat, her nerves buzzing. Whose initials are these? Elena's fingers tightened around her whiskey glass. Captain Jenna Morales. My second in command. She didn't make it back. Alexa's breath caught. I'm sorry. Don't be. Elena's voice was rough. Just tell me why you stepped in that day. Alexa met her gaze. Because you were standing like someone who'd spent years being told to stay silent. And I was tired of watching people like them win. Elena exhaled, something raw flashing in her eyes. 15 years, and you were the first one who saw me. Scene 6, The Rising. A city rooftop. Weeks later. Uniform off. Civilian life on. Alexa trains now at a federal level. Elena consults for classified ops, occasionally speaks to women in service. They meet again. Coffee. Laughter. A new rhythm. Elena touches the edge of her cup, gaze soft. Funny. All those years behind enemy lines. And the first person who actually saw me was a rookie with a badge. Alexa laughs, brushing hair behind her ear. I was just doing my job. No, Elena says, you were doing right. And in the light of that quiet rooftop, two women who fought different wars begin a new chapter, this time, side by side. Scene 7, The Quiet Between. A quiet military lounge. Rain tapping against tall windows. Elena and Alexa sit across from each other. The storm outside mirrors the one inside. Elena sips tea, not whiskey. Her hands never shake, but today, they rest longer than needed around the cup. Alexa watches her, Not prying, but seeing. Her voice is soft when she speaks. Alexa, I saw it in your shoulders. How you stood. How you let them humiliate you without flinching. That's not how a civilian moves. That's someone trained not to react, to survive. Elena quietly. 15 years of silence trains a body to remember what the mind tries to forget. Elena's eyes flickered toward the fireplace. Flame met frost in those glacial blue depths. But when they returned to Alexa, something unspoken melted. Alexa, I didn't do much. Just moved you out of the spotlight. Elena firmly. You saw me. That's more than most did in 2 decades. Elena, gentler. Do you sleep well, Alexa? Alexa. No. Elena. Good. Then we're even. Alexa's point of view. The weight of Elena Corbin's presence felt like standing in the eye of a storm, calm, contained, but only because the real winds were buried deep. She didn't talk much. She didn't need to. The way she sat, shoulders squared, hands folded in her lap, like she was always ready for a debriefing, said everything. She wasn't on edge. She was the edge. I sipped my coffee and kept stealing glances like a kid caught in church. Her profile was carved in composure. Her eyes didn't dart around like mine did, they studied, measured, trained. But I saw the flicker when I asked about what she carried. And when she asked if I slept well, I felt my stomach knot. Because she knew. And that kind of knowing, it wasn't flirting. It wasn't polite. It was intimate. I wasn't sure if I wanted to kiss her. Or salute her. Maybe both. Scene 8, the shooting range. The shooting range. The truth. And a near kiss that leaves them trembling. Gunfire echoes. Brass shells hit the ground. A fan hums above. There's the smell of oil and cordite. Tension in the air, almost erotic in its restraint. There are places where people train to aim. And then there are places where ghosts whisper through the barrel. This was the latter. Alexa focused. I've improved my grouping. I was told I shoot like a rookie last year. Elena dryly. They lied. Rookies don't breathe like you do. They flinch when ghosts touch their shoulders. Alexa turns, lowers gun. Ghosts? Elena steps closer. We all bring them. Mine just scream louder than most. She walked behind Alexa, not as an instructor, but as a woman who had once forgotten how to trust her own hands. Elena's hands found Alexa's waist. Not a caress. A correction. Elena near whisper. Don't brace so much. You're not holding the line anymore. You're writing your name on the wind. A soft, shuddering breath from Alexa. Alexa. That's poetic for a soldier. Elena. That's grief for a survivor. They're silent. Close. Too close. Breath and breathless. Alexa. Why does it feel like you're waiting for permission to fall apart? Elena's voice breaks slightly. Because the last time I did, 20 men didn't make it back. Silence. A long one. Then. Alexa softly. Then fall apart with me. Just a little. I'll catch what I can. She didn't kiss her. Not yet. But their foreheads touched. Like warriors laying down their swords, just for a moment. Elena, point of view. The first thing I noticed was how steady Alexa's hands were. The second thing was how hard she was trying to hide the shaking beneath them. The range was private, mine, technically. One of the few places where I could hear the sound of control without the weight of command. And yet, standing behind her, watching her pull the trigger, I didn't feel like a mentor. I felt seen. She was raw. Fierce. Green in some ways, yes, but not in heart. That part of her had been forged already. Probably alone. Probably while no one was watching. Just like me. I touched her hips. Just enough to adjust. Not enough to cross a line. But God, my fingers ached from the restraint. You're not holding the line anymore. You're writing your name on the wind. I said it like it meant nothing. But it meant everything. Because I couldn't even write my own name for over a decade. Only initials. Ghost codes. Elena Corbin didn't exist in the files. Only in graveyards and briefings. When she turned and said, "Fall apart with me," I nearly did. Her forehead against mine was a lifeline. I didn't kiss her. But in that moment, I wanted to. Desperately. Not out of lust. But because it had been so long since I felt like someone wanted me, not the legend. Not the war. Just Elena. Scene 9, the first fracture. Elena's apartment. A stark space. Minimalist. Precise. A place where everything has a place, but nothing feels lived in. A cooking pan sizzles softly. Rain taps the windows again, nature echoing something restless inside them both. Somewhere between dinner and silence, the air changed. Like the calm before a freefall. Or the moment a soldier feels the phantom pain of a war long buried. Cutlery softly clinks. Alexa's quiet breath. The scrape of a chair on the floor. Alexa gentle, cautious. You live like you're waiting to leave. Like you never really came home. Elena dryly. Maybe I didn't. Alexa didn't flinch. She never did. But something in her chest pulled taut. Like a string on the edge of snapping. Alexa. You brought me here. Invited me in. I didn't think it was just for dinner. Elena setting down a glass, sharp but controlled. Elena measured, brittle. It wasn't. Alexa. Then why are you retreating? Elena quietly. Because everyone I've ever touched either vanished or bled. The lights hummed. The silence grew teeth. Alexa resolute. I'm not asking for your war stories. I'm not asking for medals. I'm asking if you want this. Me. You. A chance. Elena voice breaking for the first time. I don't know how. A pause. Alexa soft, anchoring. Then let me teach you. Alexa point of view. Elena's apartment was too perfect. Like a hotel room she never intended to unpack. Every corner whispered, temporary. She cooked with the precision of a sniper. No wasted movement. No warmth. Even the way she stirred her sauce, mechanical. Focused. As if emotions might sneak up on her if she gave them an opening. But I saw it. The crack. The way her hand hovered just a second too long over the flame. Like she needed the heat to remind her she was still here. She didn't run. She didn't kiss her. But she stayed. And sometimes, staying is the most radical act of all. Scene 10, the moment that tips. At the cabin in the woods. A weekend retreat. Elena invited Alexa on just to clear her head. Rain again. Fire crackling. Wine untouched. They talk about nothing, books, bad movies, favorite meals. But it's a delay tactic. Because the silence is humming now. That kind of silence that comes right before lightning strikes. Alexa, why me, Elena? You've been saluted by presidents. Why invite me up here? Elena turns, eyes burning. Elena, because you're not afraid of me. You're not impressed by the medals. You saw the woman under the war paint. Elena's point of view. I don't know why I invited her to the cabin. Maybe to test her. Maybe to test me. She sat on my couch like she belonged there, barefoot, relaxed, unaware that my pulse was thundering harder than the rain outside. I paced the room. I had kissed women before. But this felt different. It wasn't desire, it was gravity. I don't want to hurt you. It came out before I could stop it. The truth always does in the end. Alexa softly, from the couch. I thought you invited me here to relax. This feels more like a test. Elena leaning against the wall, arms crossed. Maybe it is. Maybe I wanted to see if you'd survive me. Alexa quiet laughter. Too late. I'm already infected. She said it like a joke. But Elena stilled. Like the words struck bone. Elena slowly. I've lived half my life without letting anyone close. I don't know how to not calculate everything. Alexa standing, walking over. Then stop thinking. Alexa stepped forward, steady as a soldier crossing a minefield. Then don't. Just kiss me. And God help me, I did. Their lips met. Not fast. Not desperate. But inevitable. The kind of kiss that rewrites maps. That ends wars. That says, I see you. And I'm still here. Like she'd been waiting for this long before she met me. I broke the kiss first. Not because I didn't want more. But because it scared me how much I did. She didn't speak. She just pulled me down beside her, and we sat there in silence, our bodies barely touching. But everything had changed. I wasn't the general tonight. I wasn't the decorated ghost. I was Elena. And someone finally saw her. Scene 11, the afterglow. Morning light on bare skin and linen sheets. Elena wakes first. She watches Alexa sleep, one arm flung across her chest like she owns the space now. She probably does. Elena smiles, rare, real. Alexa stirs. Alexa sleepily. You staring at me again, General? Elena barely above a whisper. You're here. Alexa smiling in sleep. I'm not going anywhere. Elena traced the curve of Alexa's face, red hair spilled like fire across the pillow. For the first time in years, she felt something more than duty. More than ghosts. She felt home. Elena's soft smile. Colonel now. Retired. And I'm still breathless. Alexa eyes flutter open, emerald green meeting ice blue. Then stare all you want. They laugh softly. Outside, the world waited loud and unforgiving. But here, in this fragile sanctuary, two warriors chose to rest. To be seen. To be loved. To be free. Scene 12. The Choice. The Pentagon's offer came 6 weeks later, a promotion, a desk job, a chance for Elena to finally rest. She stared at the papers, then at Alexa cooking breakfast in her kitchen, humming off-key to some Irish folk song. You should take it, Alexa said without turning. You've earned it. Elena came up behind her, wrapping her arms around her waist. I've earned a lot of things. None of them matter if you're not there. Alexa turned in her arms, flour dusting her nose. Elena Corbin, are you saying you'd choose me over the army? Elena kissed her, slow and deep. I'm saying I finally found something worth fighting for outside the war. Outside, the world kept turning. But here, in this quiet kitchen, two broken souls had found their way home. The end.